And Carroll, we're live, man. What's up?
Not much.
Good to see you, man. It's been a hot minute.
It has.
What's is it super warm in South Dakota right now?
Oh yeah, love it. It's great. No,
What was the temperature today?
I think I saw it was like -20. Oh, right now it's -6. So we're
Just
doing pretty good then.
just flat -6, and then the wind chill kicks in, and it's like negative freaking 30.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you live close to campus at least?
I live. I mean, it's probably a good 8 to 10 minute drive. So
I gotcha. Nothing like that cold. Like people don't like. There's just it gets cold-ish over here now in Reno, but if you never felt like -20 with some wind in your face, you don't realize what that feels like.
yeah.
You know, just
How you liking Reno?
it's good, man. It's good. Things are good. Yeah, just kind of piecing it together, with the whole quarantine and everything kind of hitting at an inopportune time to start a club and start a business. But we've had so many great people like kind of step up and help us out and be there for us. It's been actually really, really good. So we're very, very grateful for the things that we've been able to do so far.
Sweet. And I see you got a new member of the family.
Yep. This is actually so first podcast back from our new Jacoby. Jacoby is joining us. He's just over a week now.
Well, congrats, man.
Thanks. I'll have I'm pretty sure they're both going to be lifetime 25 pounders. So someday I'll send them to you and you can freaking teach them how to wrestle.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, man. So this is your fifth year or fourth year?
Fifth year.
Fifth year senior. Kind of, I mean, I was just kind of refreshing on looking back at, your career and everything like that. And it's been, you've been like super consistent. I know you've had injuries and things like that, but I would say, from the outside looking in and, having watched you over the years, you've been pretty consistent. Do you feel like that's the case?
I feel, yeah, I mean, you're probably not wrong. I've consistently felt like I still haven't proven myself. So,
Yeah.
In that case, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So being a fifth year senior and kind of, going from, as a true freshman, making the national tournament and, I've been in that same exact position and I did it. And my sophomore year was my worst year by like a long shot. I, had whatever sophomore skid or, I wasn't doing the right things. I wasn't, focusing where I needed to focus. And I kind of fell off the face of the earth for like, a good 5 months. And I don't know, what happened. And, everything seemed hard at that point. But being able to bounce back after that, I think helped me out in my career. How have you felt your years have progressed?
I mean, beginning of sophomore year, entering the season, I was actually feeling, best I ever had, whatever. Was doing good, or I thought I was wrestling well. Had to take a little time off because my knee like burst a sac or whatever is blown up. My knee was huge, so had to take some time to let that go down, and we actually ended up draining it, so that worked. So then I think I started the weight was kind of getting to me, so that's why I finished out the year at 25, and then just decided to go up the next year, and then I redshirted. Feeling good, but probably a little small for the weight. Then last year, I got hurt, but still feel like I was wrestling good. So yeah, I never felt like I was wrestling poorly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right. Just kind of being able to put it together, all at the right time. Seems to be, the people that succeed at the highest levels, even if it's those, you see it every year, those kind of Cinderella type stories where, people just put it together at the right time, and they have, great postseasons, that's if you could bottle that up, that'd be you'd be able to sell a lot of people that, just because it's a recipe that I don't know that it's the same for anybody. It kind of goes person to person and situation by situation. But I what do you feel going into, having had, such a short season going in? How many matches do you have right now? Like six?
6, yeah.
So having six matches heading into the postseason, um, you know, is your body feeling pretty strong? Are you feeling pretty like where you're mentally ready for the postseason? How's that?
Yeah, I mean, my body feels really good, but it also hasn't had to do a tournament,
Yeah,
style wrestling. So, um, I mean, try to see how we can train into that, but it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But I mean, my mind and my body, I feel like I'm ready, but whole tournament, I don't really know how train for that without going to tournaments, you know what I mean?
yeah, for sure. I think where you might have an advantage over some is you've wrestled in this region tournament. The competition and how freaking tough and how important, not the span of the tournament is. It's every damn match pretty much, is a dogfight. Is every match, every point matters, every situation matters. So, you having gone through that grind and having come out and made the finals and done it before, to me that, I would think that that would be an advantage for you going into this.
I mean, I hope so. I do know you stay on that front side, you make the finals, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, life is a lot easier, yeah, don't have to worry about anything besides making weight and just going out and letting it rip on that last match. This year with it being a shorter season, how was it preparing, in the off season and getting ready and just going through kind of an unusual grind, unusual circumstance leading into this one?
I think our coaches did a good job of getting us ready and not letting us overthink about, whether we're going to have a season or not. I think, they made it clear, right away they're, we're going to prepare, like if there's going to be a national tournament, we're going to be there, we're going to be ready. And so we kind of all jumped on board immediately. So I think it was good. With the short season, I think it's just kind of helped us not beat up our bodies, in tournament, those tournaments and those, extra matches or whatever. But as far as our training goes, it seemed pretty normal. I mean, not too
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's just the way you have to approach it is, just, staying ready, so in visualizing and preparing, knowing that, on that day that the regional tournament comes and the national tournament comes, like push come to shove, just be ready, be mentally prepared, be physically ready. And then, whatever happens, it comes down to being able to control, what you can control. Um, so we'll talk a little bit about, you're from Sioux Falls, and you're wrestling at Augustana, which is in Sioux Falls. Just was it important for you to stay around? Are you happy? I mean, I wouldn't say happy, but what's it been like just being able to be in your hometown and compete for your local school and probably be around a lot of the people that you came up with?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't like looking to stay and
I know
living.
I tried to get you out of there. Like, I tried to get you to Northern pretty damn hard.
Yeah, I wasn't like dead set on staying in Sioux Falls. It was honestly just, the coaches and knowing the team and stuff. I just felt really comfortable with that. But I mean, my freshman year, I lived with my mom to save money, and I had to get out of there fast. So I mean, that was nice and saving money, but it just happens to be that Augie's in Sioux Falls, and I'm just, I chose to go there because I was so comfortable with the coaches and the team, and I just knew that they were gonna challenge me. So
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they have a very solid history of lightweight success. And, you look back at them over the years, they've done it over and over and over again. And, that's definitely something that, if I was in your shoes, I would have taken into, deep consideration. And, just being able to be around those guys, over the years is, it's clear that they do a good job of preparing you guys to wrestle when it matters. That it's clear that you get Augustana always seems to have a team that is like close. The bond stays pretty tight. The chemistry seems very good. I think that's obviously due to the core values of the program and things like that. Does that sound right?
yeah, I think we've had like good sets of leaders, throughout the years. So I mean, they've had good influence and kept everybody, with the same. Um, I mean, not necessarily the same interest, but one common interest in
Yeah.
wrestling and stuff. So
So what's it like? What's it like now being a fifth year senior, looking back, kind of comparing, the bookends of a career, I guess, true freshman, living at mom's house, going probably a little bit shell shocked going in, to an NSIC schedule to, having to, go and, manage your college curriculum versus senior. Are you graduating this year?
no, I graduated last year. I'm in the graduate program now.
Damn. Okay. So graduate school now as a fifth year senior. Kind of compare those two, just the two Brandon Carrolls, I guess.
Um, hmm. I mean, I guess I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel too much different. I mean, is there something specific that you want me to talk about?
No, man. I just
I
I
don't.
I just know for me when I was a freshman in college, um, I was just flying by the seat of my pants. I definitely was, and my situation was going from a small town in Northern California to San Francisco, so it was a big like just culture change and just a difference of pace of life and just the people that I was around, and so I just remember just kind of just it was a blur. I was just going and luckily I was able to find some people that kind of steered me in the right direction and pushed me to to figure out kind of what I wanted from the experience. And as any college athlete does, I think I had my bumps and my turbulent times and made mistakes, but I always knew like when I would when I would fall off track, I had core people that I could go to that would help me get back to where I needed to be. And by the time I was a senior in college and graduating, I had a much better idea um, of who I wanted to be versus I changed majors at one point during my college career. I kind of I lived by myself at some points. I lived with big groups at some points, and just all these different kind of situations just pointed me in the direction that that I wanted to coach. I wanted to try to help people. Really, I wanted to help people fix mistakes that I made so that they could have more success than me, and that was all just through that 5-year stretch for me personally.
Yeah, I guess as a freshman, just kind of going with the flow. Um, and you know, after my freshman year, I really tried to change and be like evolve into a good leader, like like the people, the good leaders in the past that have led the team for me and stuff. So I put a lot of focus into becoming a good leader, becoming a good role model, you know, setting a good example for the team and stuff. Um, I mean, look, coming coming into Augie, I had no idea what to expect academically. I mean, Augustana is known for good academics, so it was challenging, and I think my academics turned around a lot for my freshman year. So that's something that I've noticed. But I don't know, just continually trying to be a better me. So
So what's your undergrad degree in,
exercise science,
and what are you getting your master's in?
sports administration, and leadership.
All right. So where's that kind of leading you, do you think?
I mean, where that's leading me, I'm not so sure. Where my passion is obviously wrestling. So I would love to get into coaching after I'm
Nice.
done. So
At the collegiate level?
yeah,
Sweet. Yeah, there's always opportunities, and the nice thing about, you know, being, you're going through grad school right now, and being a little bit, I think that's a definitely a plus, to anybody as you kind of make your next move and things like that. As you've shown you can handle yourself, you can manage, a busy, hectic lifestyle and life, with wrestling and, a heavy workload. That says a lot for anybody that is going to be a college wrestling coach. Um, so with this year being like a free year or whatever, what are you planning to come back next year?
yeah.
That's
I
what I'm
mean, I've got another year of the graduate program, so why not?
Yeah, take advantage of it, right? Like, I mean, you get this block of time to compete, and it comes and goes so fast. And I would encourage, if there's nothing pressing for someone that's in college right now with this free year, man, I would have a hard time convincing somebody not to take it, if they're healthy and capable.
Right.
So heading in, kind of, I guess, we're like a week and a half, I guess, away from the NCAA qualifier, the regional. What are you doing to prepare, just mentally, physically, just to be at the peak at when it comes time?
I'm just continuing to try to implement the style that I want to wrestle, in practice and stuff like that, and keep working on that mindset. So other than that, nothing. We're not changing much at all.
Right. Right. No, yeah, for sure. Just just going in and being prepared, and knowing that the best thing that you can go or do going into a big competition, at least for me, is just to know that the work has been done, right? As long as you can look at yourself and know that up to this point, I've put in the work, I've done everything, I am who I am at this point, and leading into that, I had a coach going through college, and it was literally the week before our NCAA qualifier, and he's like, and he probably didn't even know that this still plays in my head, like, 15 years later or whatever, 10 years later. He just said, there's still time to get better. And it's just like, it's such a simple thing, but and up until that first whistle of the tournament, there's time to get better. And even in between those matches, and if we're constantly thinking about, how can I just be better than, the person I was, a couple minutes ago, or the person I was yesterday, you're gonna have the ability to, make great progress pushing forward.
For sure.
Um, so going in, did you ever wrestle a state tournament in Aberdeen?
No.
No state tournament. I was gonna say, because a lot of kids have had a state tournament there. I guess
I think maybe like a youth one.
the youth. I don't know if that's quite the same. Actually, the youth South Dakota, the AAU South Dakota youth tournament is pretty like legit. Like I would say, as far as just the way they run it, and like people show out for that thing, and it's pretty. I would say it's one of the more fun tournaments of the year for the youth out there.
Yeah, I'm coaching in Harrisburg this year, so
How's that? How's
still
that?
around.
Are you coaching just youth right now?
Yeah.
How do you like that?
I like it, but it makes me know that I want to coach college. Like, yeah, I don't know. So we have it like divided into like beginners, intermediate, and advanced. And I'm with the intermediate group. So I mean, it's fun. I mean, the kids are funny, teach them wrestling, having a good time. I like it. So
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, the youth wrestling, especially like the kids that are like super new, it's always a challenge. Honestly, like last year was my first year. Like when we first moved here, we started the club up. We had like five kids for like a couple months, and these kids never had wrestling shoes before in their life, never stepped on a mat before. And being at LOG, you typically got youth kids that had, at least they had an idea, or had some skills to kind of fall back on. But starting from scratch and being like, I was just like, holy, like there would be days I'd be driving home, I had like 20-minute drive, and I'd be looking at my wife like, dude, what what did I do? Like, like how the hell am I going to do this? And for me, it was just a matter of kind of getting over that hump, and honestly, for like, just like to take a step back and put my ego aside and understand that like I'm not trying to win national titles for these kids. I'm just trying to make sure that they love wrestling, and make it as fun as possible. Like whether it's, playing freaking games, and, throwing each other around, or, just doing whatever and laughing, and not making it so damn serious. You see so many of these, youth horror stories that, you just don't want to be a part of. At least I
yeah,
don't.
yeah, I know what you mean. Like sometimes I get frustrated because I'm like, why aren't they so focused? Why don't they care that much?
Right.
It's like
You're
you
like,
just
oh,
gotta swallow that a little bit.
yeah, you're right, for sure. Because there's a time when it will matter, when they're focused, and there's a time that it will be meaningful to them. But our job, kind of as the bridge, right? Like that's kind of how I look at it. Is we got to serve as this bridge from that phase to when it actually matters. But if we're not the bridge here, if we're not the people that are helping them get to that point, then they're gonna either find another bridge, or find another path, or go somewhere else. And that's really the worst thing that, to me, that could happen, that I'm the reason that somebody chooses to do another sport, or chooses to go do something else. Even if it never means they wrestle in college, or win a state title, but if I can get them to love the sport and get them to enjoy it, I think my job is is complete, to some extent.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, you know, you've like you mentioned being around LOG. It's like I'm dealing with kids that are that age, but they're just not. You go to LOG, you get that focus, you get that like intensity and
Yeah.
stuff, but you just gotta be like it's I don't know, can't be like that for everybody. So
Right. Yeah, exactly. Is exactly. And when it needs to be like that, you as a college wrestler, I think you'll know exactly how to tap into that. And um that's a really fun time to be a coach. I remember fresh out of college and coaching college kids, and just like there, for whatever reason, there's just this all of a sudden this like awakening. And maybe you'll be able to tap into it next year because of just because of your 6th year and you being an older cat. But that gap between my senior year of college and my first year coaching college wrestling, for some reason, you get better, as you get older, as you teach a little bit more, you kind of, your ego is still there. So, you're like, these guys, I coach these guys, so I'm not going to lose to these guys.
right.
So just being in the room every day and just scrapping and just knowing that I'm wrestling for, to make these guys tough, and I'm wrestling to make these guys, as good as they can possibly be. It's a fun time to be a coach. And, I don't necessarily want to go back and scrap that hard every day, but it's still it's a fun time. Um, what what do you have? Um, just I would say, um, if you had to kind of highlight some things about Augustana University and the wrestling program as you guys are kind of moving forward and looking at maybe the next class, if you had to sell the program, what are some things that you would sell it on?
I mean, like Augustana in the academics and also in the athletics, you're going to be challenged. So if that's something that you want, that's what you're going to get. So, and if that's something that you can't handle, maybe it's not the right school for you. But I know for me, it was challenging in the academics, and then obviously wrestling, they have high expectations. They believe in you, they push you. So I mean, it's just challenging, and if you embrace that, then it's going to be a good fit for you. But it's going to be tough. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be, right? Like anything
Right.
worth having is gonna be tough to accomplish. What how would maybe how did you go about, because obviously there's times when, you know, wrestling is so goddamn hard that we get knocked down so often and we get beat up. And I know I've talked about on here plenty of times, like there's distinct moments in my career where I was like, I'm done. Like I not having fun. This sucks. I suck. Like, everything is just like downhill. Like everything is the world's coming down on you. What are some things that you've been able to do to steer yourself around those things, or maybe push yourself out of those things? How do you manage those?
I mean, I haven't really had those moments where I actually thought about quitting or anything like that. So I've been like, I hear about that a lot, and I obviously see the people who do quit. So I mean, I know it happens. I think I just bought into like what the coaches are saying and just keep believing in them. And I mean, obviously I've had rough patches, but mentally I feel like I've always been in a pretty good spot. So I think it's probably because I've just been listening to what the coach is saying, hearing them preach, and believing in them.
I mean, yeah, that's such a that's a huge and probably undervalued skill, is like just being able to listen and being able to believe that, the people around you have your best interest at heart, and that's something that is invaluable, really, like being able, and like, obviously that's a two-way street, and the coaches have to be in on that too, but um
I think I think I mean I know our coaches do a really good job of like they work on like preaching stuff that they feel like we need to hear, and even if I don't feel like I'm like in a rough situation or whatever, I feel like I'm pretty good. They'll say things that like hit me. It's like I needed that and I didn't even know it. So
yeah.
they do a good job of covering a lot of stuff, always working on our mindset, stuff like that, and bringing us up when we need it, and bringing us down if we need that too. So
Yeah. So yeah, you sometimes that you need to get knocked down and brought back to reality.
right.
Well, man, I know you got practice coming up, but is there anything else that is on your mind, or anything else you want to kind of close out with?
Um, I was gonna mention something. Um, I can't remember if I told you about it or not, but it must have been when I was in high school, I did one of your workouts that you post on social media,
Yeah.
and it was the 400-meter lunge
Oh yeah.
around the track, and I was like, I'm never doing his workouts again.
Did you cut it off from there?
No, like I finished the workout. But the next day, I was just like, yeah, I'm done. I haven't done another workout, but maybe after I'm done, or after the season or something, I'll try to get back on it. But
Yeah, 400-meter of lunges is that's, I mean, to start out with that is just kind of torturous on yourself. I was at a point where I was doing that. I did it for 30 days straight one time, and my legs were freaking strong as hell. They were durable, but it's something that you got to get past like 5-6 days, and then it's just like you're strong enough and your legs are like durable enough to keep going.
yeah.
If you just do it the one time, it's brutal.
Yep. So I haven't gotten back, but I think it's pretty cool that you do that. You post it, you motivate people. So
I try, man. I try, and that's honestly been like the driving force behind this podcast is to motivate people. But what I've found over the last like year, I kind of took a COVID break just because not many people had very, very great things to say at the time, but getting
right.
back into it, and it's just great to be able to kind of, go back and catch up with the people that, that I've been around over the course of, years of wrestling, and just different points in my life. And, I've known you probably, since, I don't know, what year did you graduate?
2016.
2016. So probably like 2013.
Yeah.
I would say
Something like
2013,
that. Yeah.
2014. So to be able to like, use this platform, selfishly, honestly, but to catch up with you guys and to catch up with people and hear, their stories and where they're at. It's something that, I'm getting as much from this as I possibly can, just because it's important, man. It's important. Just being able to have those relationships and have those, people that you can cheer on. I'm a fan of so many people that I've, coached and I've been around and I've watched over the years. So to be able to use this to do it is it's awesome. And so I'll be watching you. I'll be cheering for you, man. Rooting for you. I'm in your corner. I know you'll be prepared and be ready to score like 17 points in a match, because I know you're ready.
I appreciate the support.
Always, bro. So just let me know if you ever need anything. If you ever want to come out and toss some high schoolers around in Reno, just give me a buzz. We'll make it happen.
I'll let you know if I'm around for sure.
All right, Brandon. Have a great day, bro.
You too.
All right. Bye.